right, so it's been a while since we've made a video. So actually it hadn't been a while, but I've made starts of a couple and really didn't like them, so I haven't posted anything, but I am still working on the car. So let me show you what we got going on here. And this should be a good video, because the goal here in a minute is to have this thing as a roller. So it'll be the first time it's been off the jack stands in about a year, so pretty excited about that. But you can see yesterday, so recently we got the rear subframe all painted up, got it painted, and yesterday I got the rear end in and got the shocks in for the first time. Still got to center up the rear end. It's still off center a little bit. I got to get in there and turn the diagonal link to get it centered up. So I got it on, so you can see car looks good with the meats on it again. So hopefully we'll get that. And then up front, which ran into some issues, but on this side you can see I got my shock on, got my bump steer kit on. Still need to do some aligning, but we'll figure that out once the tires are on it. But I am having a problem with my front shocks. If you look up here, I'm going to do some funky spacing here. So to get the spring to clear the frame there and stuff, so I'm not sure what's going on. I think it's partly because of my eBay arms, and also I got the 5/8 inch narrower, so I think that's messing with it all. By the way, eventually I'll make a better shim to tilt that out, so, and I'll just run it at the max height, so then it shouldn't be an issue. So we'll see. Hopefully it's not. If you guys think it's going to be an issue, let me know. And I also got the steering back, so if you see the steering's hooked up, I got the linkage, got it going in there. And here in a minute I'll show you. I don't have my steering wheel with me right now, but ooh, it's dark in here. But anyway, so I got the steering column in, all that happy stuff. So the goal is to finish up the passenger side shock. So I'll get the passenger side shock on, and then we'll get this thing on the ground and push it around to make car sounds. So thanks for watching, and we'll get at it. All right, so first thing I need to do for the passenger side is get this trimmed up. But you can see this is the shock mount, rubber shock mount for the Mustang II setup. And you can see I had to trim it here, which I'm going to go back and grind this and make it look a little bit better once I'm get everything test fitted and make sure this works, because I'm still doing some reading, making sure this is the I don't know, because you know, you look at that, that's not the best way to do that, but that's what we're going with today, so I can get this thing as a roller, because I really want to get it on the ground and then start thinking about, you know, I want to get the front fenders and stuff. I got to figure out how to mount that stuff. So if you have any ideas on that, leave it in the comments, because I've never really done it. So I've got a few ideas, but more ideas the better. And let me get this thing cut. So I got to cut it that way, and then we'll cut it this way, which I'm going to do this part with two hands because I like my fingers. All right, so here it is trimmed, which you can see not the prettiest work, but I'm going to go back in with a grinder and clean this all up once I get ready for final assembly. I'll probably round off these corners to make it look a little bit better, a little more presentable. So we'll see. All right, so here's the last shock I got to put together. So Viking shocks are sweet. I've never had a nice set of shocks. Everything I've always ran was the cheapo, you know, manually adjustable. Take them off the car, turn them, then 90-10s, Lakewood stuff. So it's kind of nice to have super nice shocks. And they came with these guys that you put in with these clips. So we're gonna get that put in, and then we'll get this thing installed. All right, so we got the passenger side on, and as you can tell, working on the shade tree under the oak tree, I got all these pollen pods. Should have probably got the leaf blower out before I messed with this, but my plan is to have a roller, and then I'll just roll it out of the way and leaf blow it. So we'll see. So go grab the front tires and the steering wheel, and then we'll see if we can get this thing off the jack stands without it falling. So pretty exciting. Gotta find the dust caps too. I want to put the dust caps. So I gotta find those and get those on and get the wheels on, and then we'll go from there. All right, so got both front tires on. That's a pretty good feeling. You can see they're still way out of whack, but we'll have to do some alignment eventually, but not too worried about that right now. So the plan is to clean the mess up under the car and around the car, and then probably set up the camera and do a video of it coming off the jack stands for the first time in over a year. And then we'll maybe get out the front fenders and start brainstorming on how to get the fenders, because I really want the fenders on it before I try to test fit the motor and the transmission, just so I know where stuff needs to go. And still not sure exactly how I want to mount the fenders, and the front cross member too for the headlights and such. So I've got a few ideas, but really won't be able to see until it's on the ground and the fenders are on it. So let's do that next. All right, so got to finish cleaning up the mess a little bit, then I'll get the jack and we'll jack up the rear end, take those jack stands out first, and then take out the front ones. Looks pretty cool with all four wheels back on it. Yeah, this part might be a little sketchy. All right, so it's down, and as you can see, I kind of misjudged the ride height. I can't get the jack out from under the front, so let's go take a look. So I can't get my jack out from under the front because the front's too low. So let me get something I can put under the front wheels, and then hopefully get this jack from out from under here, and then we'll just roll it off. Hopefully I got two 4x4s. We will see. All right, so I only could find one 4x4, but luckily that was enough. Oop, jack handle needs a bolt in it, but that was enough to get it out. So now we'll go back in and get the 4x4 out, and then we can check out what we need to do for ride height. All right, got the 4x4 out. Let's see if we can get the jack out now. Sweetness. So she is on the ground officially. So I like it. It's a little low for street driving, but we can fix that. All right, so we got it pushed back some, and I got the front fenders out, test fitting them. And I think what I'm gonna do first is if you look here at the original fender, you can see how it has the bolt hole there and bolt hole there and bolt hole there. And then if you look at my fiberglass fender, it's got the recess for that there and there. And then I saved this guy. So this is my driver's side headlight bucket and the front what you call it, the radiator support on the driver's side. So I'm gonna cut this off and get it bolted into the fender, and then try to figure out how I can make it. Looks pretty complicated, but I was thinking, my thought was I'd just trace this template and mirror it and then put it on, have one for the passenger side. So I'll cut this off and see if it'll kind of work that way, and then if not, I might get on eBay or something and see if I can find one, but I doubt if you can find something like that. But we'll get that chopped off and then get this part cut out and get it bolted in, and then have to do the same thing to that side, and that way I can get the grill and stuff out, and that way I'll get the width right, because I can start bolting in the back, but I don't know what the width should be. I guess I could use the hood too, right? But anyway, I think that's the path I'm going to go down. So if any of y'all have ever mounted fenders on like a homemade front end junk like I'm doing, let me know, because definitely open to better ideas, because I'm sure there's better ways to do it than what I'm fixing to do. But I'm gonna go down the path that I think will work, so we'll see. All right, so I went ahead and just grabbed the hood, threw it up there. Not really on there, but you can kind of see with the gap's not right, so the front of the fender still needs to come out some, and then it looks like my wheels will be in the right spot, because I really want the radius of the tire in the front of the fender there to match, which it looks like we're going to be pretty close to that, which is awesome. And now I just gotta, like I said, figure out all this stuff. And like this fender's not sitting down right because the apron's kind of dinged up from the wreck, so I gotta get in there and beat that down. But overall, it's kind of nice to see it halfway together, and gives me hope. I know there's still a ton of work to do, but I'd really like to try to stay motivated and get it done by the fall, because once I get the fenders on, then it's really just motor, transmission, wiring, and then the big thing is going to be the rear floor, which I'm not looking forward to that, but we'll figure it out. And but motor, transmission, wiring's not that bad. I've done that before, so I think it'll go faster than this kind of stuff that I'm kind of learning as I go. So anyway, I'm just kind of geeking out looking at my car, so I'll quit talking and get back to work. All right, so it's kind of hard to see because it's black Sharpie on black paint, but I think I'm gonna get my cutoff wheel and I'm just gonna cut like right along this seam right here. I was thinking about cutting it up here so it's flat, but I think that'll just be too much pain for me, so I'm just gonna cut right here and just follow this body line, and then get that one off and see how janky it looks, and then see if we can kind of mirror it for the other side or not, because that'll be the big question, is if they were the same, because I honestly don't remember, and I don't have the passenger stuff because it was smashed in the wreck. So we'll go from there. All right, so we got the little piece cut out, and you can see, you can almost see if I hold it right, it gets bolted back here like EA, and then that's where the headlight goes. So I need to cut out this part on the fender, which I've never really cut fiberglass, so we'll see. I gotta do some reading so I don't screw it up, and then we'll drill a hole, we'll drill a hole here and here, and then that will bolt to that hole and that hole. And then we have to see if this is kind of the same deal over here or if it's different, so I just turned it around backwards just to get an idea. And it looks like you can see that hole and that hole, they probably won't line up, but it might get us close enough, you know. It gives me a good template to work off of. And I need to see if the headlight bucket's the same too, so we'll do all that stuff. And then my thought is, if I have these set up, I can just do a bar across the front middle to kind of secure them, and then from that bar we can go down to this bar, we can go down to the crossbar here and here, and hopefully have enough room for a radiator. So I did go ahead and buy the Corvette front accessory drive to hopefully give me a little bit extra room, because it was always tight in here with the last setup. So we'll see. All right, so got a piece of scrap metal. This actually used to be the trunk floor in the car, but I couldn't get a Sharpie to write on it, so I got a punch and I traced this out. So now we're gonna cut this guy out. Can you tell I'm a fabricator? So we're gonna get this thing cut out and then see how it fits on the passenger side. And like I said, this is old scrap metal, so no huge loss if I screw it up. And then we'll go from there. So yeah, let me get my nibblers out and we'll see if we can cut this stuff and get some gloves so I don't hurt myself. And I did test fit the passenger side bucket. The headlight buckets do fit. The passenger side fits in there too, just like the driver's side, so that shouldn't be a problem. So I'll get to cut. All right, so we got it cut out, and then it should go in here. I gotta cut this part off some, but you can see how it fit in there. And then I can drill the hole. I don't know if you can see that or not. But anyway, definitely goes like this. I just gotta chop this off. It's going too straight, and then we should be able to cut the hole for the headlight and figure that out. All right, so this part's gonna fit the fender nice, but I gotta mirror it right. So this is actually backwards, so you can see how. Is it backwards? So this is where stuff gets complicated, because you want it to go. I got this one off eBay. It's actually in worse shape than mine, but they're kind of hard to find. But that's what I get for smashing mine. But I really need it to go that way, so the wire's at the top, and as you can see, it's not. So I'm not sure how to go about changing that. And it kind of needs to be in the right spot, right? Because if it's not in the right spot, then the grill and the wind headlight trim won't work. Or I can leave it where it is because I know it's in a good spot, and it'll just go like this and the wire just come out somewhere else, which I don't know. Will it fit? Anyway, I'll be back. All right, so the nearest I can tell, it's not really gonna matter. If I cut the hole that way, the bucket will go in this way and the wire will be on the side. On the driver's side, the wire's on the top. I don't know if that really matters to me. I don't know if it's worth the effort. This is all, it's still centered, right? It's a circle. So long as it's in the right location, I'm good. So I think it's more important to have it in the right location, and we can just have the wire come off the side a little bit, is what I'm thinking. And then if I'm wrong, I'll just remake this, because it's not that hard. The nibblers cut it really easy, so super easy to cut and make. So we'll just go roll with it and we'll see. All right, so just to get this thing started, I went and used a hole saw to get the radiuses on the short turns, which is luckily I had one that matched up pretty good, and I just cut a few extras, so just make it easier, because the nibbler's not that best at turning. So at least the Harbor Freight one I have isn't. So we'll get this cut out and then test fitted. All right, so we got it cut out, and you can see I kind of missed my line a little bit. It's kind of hard to see, so it's just a little tight. So I'll probably just grind that with a grinder, and you can see kind of the nibbler kind of messed it up where I was pressing really hard to get it to turn. So I'll get a grinder and grind that up real quick, and then it should fit. All right, under further review, I shouldn't have cut that, because it does matter, right? Because I went and got my trim piece. So a trim piece, it has certain holes and needs to line up, right? So it'll pick up the grill right, which I don't have the passenger side because it got smushed, but it's pretty obviously this has to be orientated right. So, you know, once I have this piece, it'll fit right, you know, and so this ain't gonna work. So I have to remake it, which it's a shame because it fits nice. But we'll remake that, and I'll probably wait to remake it until I get a new trim ring. Hopefully I can find one that doesn't cost a fortune, and we will go from there. So I think this probably could be it for the video. You know, super glad it's back to being a roller. So we'll get this front end figured out and get these fenders mounted. So what I'm thinking is I can mount here. You know, I've got the stock locations here, which are good. and then I'll probably come off right here, maybe do one come off right here, and maybe do one here, and then we'll come off down here, you know, and do the front radiator support for the front. So hopefully that's enough, you know, and then we'll still have the attachments down below. We'll have to do an attachment, and then you know, hopefully that'll make it. You know, I don't want a bunch of wobbly fenders, but at the same time I don't want to add everything back to secure them. So I don't know, let me know what you think if you've ever mounted fiberglass fenders on a car with the two front. Let me know if there's any kits out there. I'd look into that too. So anyway, thanks for watching. Sorry it's been so long since we posted, but we will get at it. And you know, thanks for watching the videos.